Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Happy holidays, and we've got a Star Destroyer finally coming to Star Wars X-Wing. How is it doing it? How is this happening? Am I for real? Is this an April Fool's joke? No, we're going to talk about it and talk about the Battle of Endor scenario pack. This is a very cool thing. Now, there were some leaks that came out over the weekend. I'll caveat this by saying this isn't 100% confirmed, but it's like 99% because it looks pretty credible. It's been circulating quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure within the next couple of days we'll probably see an official preview, kind of since the cat's already out of the bag. A lot of this stuff is probably going to be publicized publicly. Well, I guess publicly is the only way you would publicize something. You wouldn't publicize it privately. But yeah, these are probably going to be coming out here pretty soon. So we've got some pretty cool stuff to show off for X-Wing. We're also going to be doing another Life Day giveaway at the end of this video. So if you guys are subscribed and you have left a comment on one of my videos, you're automatically entered to win the 12 Days of Life Day giveaways. We're going to be doing another giveaway at the end of this video. If you want to have a chance to enter to win any of the rest of the giveaways, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment. I want to hear from you guys what you are looking for X-Wing. We've already talked a little bit about what to expect for next year. I want to hear some of your wish list items, maybe your like wildest dreams wish list, but also your realistic wish lists. Are you hoping to get a certain ship reprinted, or you're hoping that they're going to go crazy and start designing like all new ships that are needed and that are kind of fan requests, or maybe you got something crazy like me where you want really, really large, huge ships, or in a physical printed Star Destroyer in Star Wars X-Wing. Let me know down in the comments section. Also, while you're at it, too, if you guys do a search for my name, if you do a search for Crabbok, let me know if you're seeing any X-Wing content. I'd love to hear what kind of results come up, both after you search and then after you watch a video. What does it recommend once that video is complete? Because I'm trying to find some information about the algorithm lately. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. We've got the big old Star Destroyer bridge. This is actually coming in this pack. Now, this is, while it does look like a typical Imperial Star Destroyer bridge, this is also supposed to be like a Super Star Destroyer bridge, like you're trying to take down the Executor in the Battle of Endor. It was a pivotal scene, but I imagine, if you want to play thematically, you could kind of play this as both, hey, we're just taking down a Star Destroyer, or we're taking down the Executor bridge. So again, we kind of got to get a little bit more once the official preview comes out. But we can see we've got turbo lasers, we've got a Star Destroyer bridge, and we've got a turbo laser tracking card for each of the 4 turbo laser batteries. There's only 4 in this particular scenario. And this is also a good time to kind of mention Meld Miniatures, because they have some awesome little, 3D printed turbo laser batteries. I picked up, actually, I have 4 of these too, and I got to find them. They're really awesome, and they look like they'd be perfect size for something like this too. So very cool stuff. But this looks to be like the cardboard cutout that you're probably going to get. I'm sure there will be detailed rules on placement and where to put this. I imagine this will be kind of centered in the middle of one end of the playboard, and players trying to take it out. Now, I'm curious if this is going to be on a 3x3, or if this is going to be one of those scenarios that you play on like an Armada style board, a 6x3. Because if ever there were a scenario to kind of warrant taking down the Executor bridge, it's one of those double length playmat scenarios. So hopefully that's the case. But I imagine there's a use case for it to play on a 3x3. Also, if an entire space battle is taking place over the top of the center section of the command bridge area of the Executor, that could certainly work. We have some cards to go along with this. We've got the command bridge. This is a 20 hull, 3 shields with it. Looks like 2 shields regenerating per turn, 4 charge with 2 charge regenerating per turn. And a lot of other really cool stuff here. And so it says, while you defend at attack range 3, do not apply the range bonus. During the end phase, if your damage tracker has reached 5 or more, recover 1 fewer shields. During the end phase, if your damage tracker has reached 10 or more, your shields do not recover. It also has damage tracking. When suffering damage, or when you suffer damage, move the charge marker on the command bridge tracking dashboard. Of course, we don't have a preview of the command bridge tracking dashboard just yet, but to the next sequential space. Then, if the damage suffered was a critical, move your charge marker 1 additional space. He's also got battle stations. At the start of the end phase, you may choose one of the following effects. You can spend 2 charge to recover a shield, or you can concentrate firepower. Intensify forward firepower! I don't want anything to get through. Spend 1 to 4 charge. Then choose a turbo laser battery for each charge spent. In this way, each chosen turbo laser battery gains a calculate token and a reinforce token. Pretty cool stuff. So basically, the command bridge doesn't shoot on its own, but it is linked up to those turbo laser batteries, and it can potentially power them up a little bit by giving them a calculate and also reinforcement, which will help for their defense. Before we go on and look at the turbo lasers, because we have their cards too, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. Amazing tokens, folks. These are fantastic tokens. If you're going to need a lot of charge tokens, also this is your destination to get the high quality, beautiful, solid metal, double-sided tokens that they have. These are absolutely gorgeous tokens, folks. You're going to love these tokens. I use them in my games. And if you head over to luxuryplaystyle.com, you can check them out. Don't forget to use code Crabbok VIP. While you're there, you're going to save 15%. Great stocking stuffer ideas. Even if you're late with getting your purchase in, you can still print this out, put it in a stocking, let somebody know what is coming. But also, if you use that code and spend at least $35, you're going to get a free Crabbok token. And certainly, your loved ones would love to get a Crabbok token in their stocking, because it can mark critical hits, it can mark light side versus dark side, it can mark all kinds of different status effects, especially with all the scenario play too. It's a fantastic multi-use token for a lot of different things. So definitely head over to luxuryplaystyle.com, check them out, and don't forget to use that code. All right, let's take a look at the turbo laser battery. There's going to be 4 of these. They're numbered to correspond with their specific turbo lasers, although I imagine all will be virtually the same except for the number difference. Initiative 0, they have 2 forward arc and 6 hull. It says, while you defend at attack range 3, do not apply the range bonus. During the engagement phase at Initiative 0, each turbo laser battery may perform a primary attack. You cannot perform an attack at range 0. They actually get worse the closer you get, and that's going to be referenced in the optimal firing solutions. They have damage tracking. While you suffer damage, move your charge marker on the turbo laser battery tracking dashboard to the next sequential space. Then, if the damage suffered was a critical damage, move your charge marker 1 additional space. So basically, it's kind of like, you know, if somebody has one super awesome shot, they're not going to. It looks like there's basically a cap to how much damage you're getting. So whenever you suffer damage, use that chart. I guess we don't really know what exactly the charge marker really references. So I'm not sure if it's actually a cap on damage, because you also do have a hull value of 6. It could just be, that something special happens. So, if you happen, as long as are you going to blow up? What happens if you blow up before the marker hits all the way at the end? I don't know. And that there's definitely a lot more questions that these spoilers give us. You have the optimal firing solution keyword that says, while you perform an attack, do not apply the standard range 1 or range 3 bonus. Instead, the following bonuses apply. While attacking at range 1, the defender rolls 1 additional defense die. While attacking at range 2 to 3, roll 1 additional attack die. So you actually get bonuses for long range. Again, the turbo lasers want to fire from a little bit farther away. When you're really up close, they have a harder time getting a lock. So that's kind of meant to influence the whole trench run dialogue that you saw in the initial episode, and what happened also kind of, I guess, in episode 8 when Poe was kind of making that attack run on the dreadnought, and all the turbo lasers kind of had a hard time doing anything to him at all, which kind of defeats the purpose of having so many turbo lasers. Maybe they should have some small arms, turrets in there, and some anti-fighter turrets. I would think maybe if we're gonna have like a whole nother empire in the sequel trilogy, then maybe we'll have some more reasonable turrets to prevent a lone X-wing from taking down a capital ship all by itself, or a lone A-wing from taking down an executor. We'll see. All right, you've also got structural damage. When you are destroyed, the opposing player rolls 2 attack dice. The command bridge suffers a hit damage for each hit or crit rolled, ignoring shields. And turret rotation. At the start of the system phase of the command bridge has not been destroyed, you may rotate each turbo laser battery 90 degrees. After it rotates, it gains a deplete token. So they can rotate. They're going to suffer a little bit on the firepower after a rotate, but they can move, so they're not locked in one position, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you're if that rotate lets you stop somewhere before the 90 degrees, or if it sounds like it's a straight 90-degree rotation, which it'd be kind of cool if you could do kind of a partial, but it doesn't look like you'll be able to do that. So anyhow, the turbo lasers seem pretty cool, and I imagine this is all going to be in addition to the Imperial fighters that are part of the scenario as well. But this is just really cool. It's a way to actually get a Star Destroyer in the game, and I think a lot of times people used to say, even back in the day, like, well, you can't really put a Star Destroyer model on there, but a Star Destroyer could be part of the play mat. I've even seen some of my viewers say that. We were talking about building a Star Destroyer into like a glass table where you could see the Star Destroyer underneath, but just the bridge kind of sticks out on top, and that's kind of where the X-Wing is playing. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here, except for instead of it just being a regular Imperial class Star Destroyer, it's going to be the Super Star Destroyer, Executor, or any Super Star Destroyer, or kind of, I guess, whatever you want it to be, depending on how you want to define the scenario. But I believe it's intended to be the Executor. That's kind of what they were hinting at. That's what they were saying at Mini Stravaganza with this pack, which does seem pretty cool. And apparently there's supposed to be some other rule where you can actually crash into the bridge and take it down that way. So speaking of crashing into the bridge, we'll look at A-Wings. Now, we don't see... we see Tycho Selchu here, but we don't see... we don't see our A-Wing pilot who's flying in there and who actually did the deed. But Tycho's still cool to see Tycho in here. We got some new standard loadouts. So it's a trap. Tycho's got a. Well, let's look at Tycho's new ability. He's got the vectored cannons. He's got while you're disarmed, you can still perform missile attacks. While you perform a missile attack while disarmed, roll a maximum of 4 dice. It's a trap. If there's other ships at range 1, you may reroll one of your blank results. He's got juke, he's got proton rockets, and chaff particles. While defending, you may spend an eyeball result at the end of the neutralized result steps to remove 1 red or orange token. So that's Tycho. Two hull and 3 shields on the A-Wing. We'll move on to Colonel Jenden, who is coming out looking hard and reminiscent of old school X-Wing. He said he's got an ability that says, will you defend? If you are not shielded, you may change one of your blank results to an eyeball result. He's got 3 hull and 4 shields. He's got Chiss Engineering. Love that. Love to see Grand Admiral Thrawn referenced, by the way, with the Chiss Engineering. It is a beautiful thing. It's kind of indicative of the Chiss Clawcraft, and of course Thrawn working on these awesome defenders. All of that stuff that happened in Rebels, and hopefully we'll see Thrawn in X-Wing one of these days. I think it's something that's not too far out of the out of reality. I could see Thrawn being in the TIE Defender. He designed the thing, so it could work. It could work. He could have like more of a leadership ability, not necessarily a dogfighting ability, but he could work in a ship like that, or in a shuttle, or as a crew, at least as crew. So yeah, no, that's very cool. He's got no escape. He's got push the limit, making its return. Push the limit used to be one of those like broken cards that you always had to take. After you fully execute a red maneuver or perform a red action, if you're not strained, you may gain a strain token to remove a stress token. So they certainly changed it. But there it is. You've got proton cannons and computer-assisted handling. So let's go ahead and Jenden has 6 in the Defender too, by the way. We got Soontir Fel coming back with a standard loadout. 2 charge on him. He's 3/3/3, 2 charge. After you perform an attack, you may spend a charge and gain a deplete token to boost or barrel roll. So you can do that after attacking, which is pretty cool. It's so great for his role. Of just like getting in there, hoping you're going first, hoping you're not going against another 6 and then you lost the roll. Sensitive controls during the system phase, you may perform a red boost or barrel roll. Of course, now you're still going to be restricted to 1 action of each type, right? So I don't think you're going to be able to boost twice this way, but still cool. Apex Predator, will you perform a primary attack? If the defender's initiative is lower than yours, you may re-roll an attack die. Oh, that's beautiful. It's going to be most of the time. And then no escape. While you perform a primary attack, if there are more friendly ships than other enemy ships at range 0 to 1 of the defender, you may re-roll one of your blank results. So all kinds of re-rolling abilities. Who needs a targeting computer ever? Again, not Soontir Fel. He's just going to focus every time. Blank signature while defending. If you're not locked by the attacker, you may spend a charge to change an eyeball to an evade. And feedback emitter. After object locks on you, you may spend you may spend a charge to jam that object, ignoring range restrictions. This upgrades charge cannot be recovered. So, he's got the 2 non-recoverable charge on him. He's got 1 non-recoverable charge on the emitter, but the blank signature is a recoverable charge. And we got Sapphire 2 in a Interceptor. While you defend, if you are focused, roll 1 additional defense die. He's going to be hard to kill. Also got No Escape. You've got Reckless. You got Primed Thrusters and Targeting Matrix there. And then we have Lando Calrissian. Lando is coming in with all kinds of cool stuff. We've got, at the start of the activation phase, if you spend a charge, you can choose the initiative value of 1 to 6. You activate at that initiative this phase. I love that. I love that ability. You can only do it twice, but it's really cool, especially when, you can... granted, this is still before you roll for initiatives, though, so you still not a way to, like, it's not guaranteeing that you're going to, have the initiative over a 6 or anything like that. But it's still a cool option. And he's a 5 even when he doesn't do that, so he's already fairly high initiative. 8 hull, 5 shields, high stakes. After you perform a red action, you may roll an attack die on a hit or barrel roll. Remove a stress. He's got Ace in the Hole. He's got It's a Trap. He's got 9 Numb. He's got Aaron Kraken Gunner. After defending, if the attack hit, you may gain a deplete token to perform a bonus primary attack targeting the attacker. So that's kind of cool. A little bit weaker of a counterattack. Millennium Falcon, while attacking or defending, if you have a non-lock red or orange token, you may re-roll 1 die. So, although it is that one's while attacking or defending, and then the Aaron Kraken is after defending, so it's not like you're going to get the token, be able to re-roll a die, and then so I think the timing isn't going to be the perfect scenario there, but it's still pretty cool to see Lando and the Falcon. I always like Lando and the Falcon. I think he was a little bit underrated. I would love to see more Lando, and hopefully we get that Lando Disney Plus series. I don't even know what's up with that. Maybe that's is that even happening? I don't know. I think it might be on hold. Anyhow, that's what we got for Battle of Endor. This is a little leakage that has been all over the interwebs lately, so I thought I'd share that with you. And it's really cool that we're finally seeing Star Destroyers on our tabletop with an X-Wing of all places. So very cool stuff. Maybe they'll show up in Legion next. No, I'm just kidding. Unless we get Starkiller kind of ripping them down from the sky, which would be just such an awesome scene to have that play out in a board game. I don't know how you would ever really do that, but it always could be fun to play around with. All right, guys, that is going to do it for most of this video. We do have a giveaway to announce. So today's winner is going to win some X-Wing promos, also from the latest kit. We have a top 8 and top 16 prize, also courtesy of JJ for the Planning Phase Syndicates. Sent these over to us. We've got the Outmaneuver promo, and then we've got the Suppressive Gunner promo from the latest kit. There are not holes in this card, by the way. No holes in that card. It's just green art on there with the green screen. So that's kind of how that works. You're going to win both of these cards, though. So today's winner is going to be Kenshin Tommy. Congratulations, Kenshin Tommy. All you got to do is shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com and remind me what you won, because there's a lot of giveaways. Hate to accidentally end up sending you the wrong thing. And also, I need your contact info, name and address and stuff. However you want me to mail this out to you, include that. If you did not win, don't worry. Anything that goes unclaimed after 30 days is going to roll over into Patreon giveaways. So if you guys are patrons or you're thinking of supporting the channel, this is an excellent time to jump in. And links for Patreon are in the description below. At the Awing tier or higher, you also get your name in the credits. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and out of this world. Thank you so much for your continued support. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. The spice must flow, so say we all. Cowabunga, dudes, and always wash your socks.